Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to my first ever full video concept. You might know me from Twitter for doing PvP and PvE concepts, ranked armor, Gears BR. There's a lot of stuff, but we're going to get into that in future videos, so stay tuned. The reason we're doing Gears BR today is because recently we've had some of the biggest streamers talking about Gears of War, Gears of War 5 in fact, but also talking about the aspect of Gears BR, which I've done a concept before. I've never done a video on it. Some people have used my concept and ran with it, but I want to do a full video on it because it's just sparked so much energy in the community, and I really think you're going to be interested in what these guys have to say. So I'm going to let them introduce it. I'm going to let you watch two clips here, and it's really interesting to see what their takes are on a Gears BR.
Sorry.
I'm not playing Val, chat. Don't look at me.
Play Valiant.
No aim assist.
No aim assist.
Gears of War?
No aim assist, no me. I'm in. Is there a BR?
I wish. Magic
I
Gears of War
would
VR.
play a Gears VR. What?
Yeah, I'd
Who
play
the
that.
fuck wouldn't?
That'd be lit. A Gears
or Halo BR. How the fuck did those two games
Imagine
not
like a
have BRs?
like a superstore with Gears. Oh, turn me up.
Yeah, Gears VR would be awesome.
I can't fucking see.
Behind you.
If a Halo VR comes out,
I don't know.
I'd be more
What do we
horny
do?
for a Gears of War VR. I would.
I mean,
Come
yeah,
on,
there-
bro.
I
Halo
feel like
BR
they
would be
would
way
just
better.
fuck up the Halo
I
VR.
like the Gears of War movement.
Yeah, dude.
I love Gears of War movement.
I fucking. Why?
You hate
Like, I like the
Because you
idea
should
of the
be.
Halo
Because you
VR.
should be a controller player, but you're a pussy.
it?
I'm talking to you, Cocky.
Wait, why me?
Because you're good at Halo. You're probably sick of Gears.
So this is where my concept comes in. I designed this a few months ago actually, whenever the topic was brought up, and I used the open map from Gears 5 just to sort of give like a vague area and essence of what the Gears BR might look like, with the points of interest and all the locations, because the assets are already in the game. Obviously you could use the points of interests and the loot system that's in the tile builder, and that could be the loot system used in the BR, and it'd be very easy just sort of drag and drop tiles, maps, assets. Then of course we have objectives. It can bring in the tour of duty. They could have an integrated store between Gears 5 and the Gears BR, so that anything you're doing in Gears BR would affect Gears 5 and vice versa. We also have like a map that you could bring up in game showing your points of interest, where the storm is, etc. And I think there's a lot of room for improvement to be brought into the Gears universe when it comes to new game modes. We have all these big assets. The Gears 5 world is massive. You know, they made a big point at E3 of making a big map. It was going to be open world, but yet this big map is just sitting empty in the campaign. It's wasted. You play the campaign once or twice and then you don't play it anymore. I think the great thing about the Gears universe is there's so much lore, there's so many enemy types, there's so many vehicles. As you see in the background here, we have the skiff being used to traverse the map, similar to how a ATV is used in Call of Duty. It can be used in Gears 5, it's already in the game. It doesn't take that much of a swap around to put this into a BR format. You know, you're not hiring a totally new staff to get a totally new system of assets, character models, graphics. The stuff's already in the game, and I feel like they just need to utilize that a lot better. So coming up, I have a clip of our recent community night I done on my Twitch, which was all focused around Gears BR. I was joined by some community members, and we were going over the topic of what is Gears of War. It was one of the points that we wanted to discuss, and I really just want you to take a listen to what we're talking about and how we're portraying of what is Gears of War, what do people expect of it, and why they might be worried about a Gears BR. I can see where you're coming from, and I think that's like that is definitely a big factor of why people are sort of scared of the word Battle Royale, because they think change. But then I would sort of go back to, like, obviously this is about some of the negatives as well, but whenever I see that there, I'm like, but what about Call of Duty? You know, what about Warzone? Like, everyone thought Warzone was going to be a failure. It was going to be like a fad game mode, and like, it's massive. I would love to see the figures of what Warzone pulls in, and it was probably the biggest change to the Call of Duty formula in years. And it's like Call of Duty got stale to the point that the player base was dwindling, and it didn't know where it was. Was it a space shooter? Was it a first-person shooter? Totally. Was it a, you know, boots on the ground shooter? Was it a World War I shooter? Like, what was Call of Duty? And I think that's what people sort of have lost about Gears. Like, if you ask, I could ask 10 different Gears fans what's Gears of War, and all 10 of them will give me a different answer. Oh, Gears of War's lore. It's a good campaign. Oh no, Gears of War's, you know, sweaty Koth. Oh no, Gears of War's just a good time for me to run about with my Lancer. Oh no, it's Horde. I love Horde. Like, I think Gears of War's all about Horde and you know, playing with it. Like, you can literally get 10 different answers from 10 different people, and I think BR people are sort of afraid of the aspect of going into another genre of Gears whenever they've just lost their sight of Gears.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just sort of the divisiveness of the divisiveness
you're going
of
down
Gears
that path
5 is
of,
already shown. Yeah.
You're going down that path of, then what is Gears of War? Like, is it just lore? Is it characters? Is it Horde? Is it the OG characters? Is it Koth? Is it TDM? Do you know, is it multiplayer? Is it single player? Is it PvE, PvP? Is it a mixture of both? Like, you know, there's never going to be a definitive answer, which is why I think the Coalition took on a massive challenge taking the franchise, because one, it was a new studio built up, yes, of some of the people from Epic Games that wanted to stay on, but two, like, the community doesn't know what it wants itself. You know, this update's going to be live next week for PvP, and still 50% want it and 50% don't. So is that going to be 50% of the community just going to leave again? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why TC are just sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because bringing in a Gears BR could be fantastic. It could be the best decision they ever made in their lives. Look at Fortnite again. Fortnite is the example you have to make, because it was Epic Games. They went on and done something different. They tried to make a single player game and it just didn't work out. Fortnite single player just failed. So they've sent a small group of it was like a really small part of the studio, and they says, look, PUBG's doing phenomenal, make us a PUBG. Like, make us a PUBG, and they just kept the building into it. They used the assets from the Save the World single player, and like, it just it speaks for itself. It just took off. Like, Fortnite took off, and it's a multi-billion-dollar game now, and like, it would have failed if it stayed single player. So TC are stuck. Like, they're stuck between, do we change, or you know, do we make it? Do we listen to that 50% that want this new tuning, that want the Gears BR, that want it to go back to be OG, or do we listen to the other 50% that don't want it, that completely want the opposite, and you know, want it to stay how it is, want it to stay sweaty, fast-paced Koth, sort of like, what is it, Gen Z they call them, like boomers and zoomers, sort of like Gen Z. Do we, you know, it really is, do we appeal to boomers or do we appeal to zoomers? And that's where the split is. So there we have it, guys. That's my first ever full video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's obviously on a very controversial topic, I guess you could say, in the Gears of War community. I think it's sort of it's a big split, but you've got to understand, we're trying to get people from outside the Gears of War community, not just Gears 5 fans, die-hard fans. We're trying to get people back, like the big streamers, to get this game popular, to get Gears 5, because if Gears BR is good, if Gears BR sells well, then Gears 5 does well, and the future of Gears does well. We can get spin-offs, we can get horror games, we can get whatever you want, but we need to show TC, we need to show Gears in general, we need to show the fans in general, and we need to show Microsoft that this is needed, and this can be done in the current engine. So I've never done a full video before. Let me know in the comments what you think. I've never done a description, I've never spoke in a video before. I think people only know my voice from Twitch. So this is brand new to me, so if you could, please leave any feedback in the comments, like, maybe subscribe if you like it, because there's plenty more concepts to come.